Hi guys, we are back. Thank you so much for tuning into the first part of our video. So in the previous episode, we have shared with you some basic information about different types of clay brands, how do you store your clay, and what's a good work surface. Now in this episode, we will be teaching you on many important points like how to cure and bake your clay, what you need to note in achieving the perfect end product, such that it doesn't burn or break at the end. So stay with us as we bring you through this video. Let's go! How do I cure my clay? To cure your clay, you need an oven. So polymer clay has to be baked in an oven at a relatively low temperature of 120 degrees. Two things that you should avoid, which is using a toaster, because that one is too hot and it might burn your clay and you really don't want that. And you also should avoid using a microwave because that wouldn't do the work. Another question that I get really often is that, am I able to bake my clay in the regular kitchen oven where I used to bake food? The answer is yes, you can, but there's a few rules that you should follow. Number one is that you should never bake your clay with food at the same time. When baking, it releases a kind of fumes where you don't want to transfer to your food. So that's something that you must avoid.
Denied.
And the second thing is that, so you should not use the material that you use for clay for food ever again. I will always try to use a different tray. I purchase a separate tray from like the regular bake store. If you really only have one tray, then your clay should not have any direct contact with the tray. You would be laying a sheet or two parchment paper on top of the tray. So this prevents direct contact with the tray. In the long run, if you are looking in doing this professionally or long term, then I would suggest getting a regular conventional oven because it's relatively inexpensive and I think it will be a good investment. Number 5, optimum baking temperature. So what is the right temperature to bake your clay? So there are various instructions on your clay, but through my experience, I found that baking at 120 degrees Celsius for a good 20 minutes is just right. So a tip would be that you should always bake your clay at a relatively low heat through a longer duration rather than baking it at a high temperature in a shorter duration, because optimum temperature is 120 degrees, because anything higher than that you have a chance of burning your clay and you really don't want that. On the other hand, baking it at too low a temperature, it means that the ingredients inside might not be able to bind together very well, and that means to say after baking there might be a chance of your clay breaking. For polymer clay, it's pretty interesting. The longer you bake it, the stronger it can get. So you can actually bake it up to like 40 to 50 minutes, but be sure to keep checking, like bringing out the oven door to keep checking whether the clay, is it safe, is it burned, has it changed color. A tip to share is that I'll always lay it down with a baking paper because it prevents it from having a shine after baking at the back of the clay, and I will always keep an aluminum foil on top. So be sure that there is no contact with the aluminum foil in the clay because this prevents direct heat from the top of the oven, and this is my tip for you. Number 6, what kind of colors should I purchase as a start? So I understand as a beginner, you wouldn't want to pick out too many different colors of clay. So over here, I have chosen 6 colors that you can purchase at the start. First two you have to pick is these two basic colors, being white and black. So these two colors will help you to lighten and darken your clay colors. You should also get these primary colors being red, yellow and blue. With these primary colors, you will actually be able to create almost any colors, and with these two you'll be able to lighten or darken your colors depending. If you prefer a pastelish color, you can always use green mixed with white and create a lighter shade of green. On the other hand, you can always use green and black and mix them together to form like a darker shade of green. With that, we have came to the end of yet another episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. In the last part of this video, I will be sharing with you some interesting things like making use of the things that you already have at home as basic clay tools, how to clean up your work, stay dust-free, and many more. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!